Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I passed two challenges within one day. So FTMO phase 1 was passed on Monday in one day, and funding pips phase 1 was passed in one day on Tuesday. Now both, obviously, as we know, phase 1s are the hardest ones to pass. Phase 2s normally phase 2s have their traps as well, right? You think it's a small little phase 2, 5%. That's when only people trip up. But this video is obviously about how I was able to pass phase 1s in one day each. Small little 10k accounts, but the whole idea, obviously, if you've been following my content for a while, even in my community, Discord community, where I obviously show to, for my students and mentorship, basically the whole idea is start small. There was one student, and this is insane, right? He purchased like 1,600k accounts, and he blew them all. And I was like, what's your edge? What's your trading strategy? He didn't know. He doesn't have one. And it was, I don't know, it just blew my mind. So the whole idea is, so I thought that's when it first gave me the idea. Start these little small 10k accounts and show that you can just start small. And if you have a proper system in place, trading system, if you have a real edge, now there's different edges as well. There's a weak edge, just like the different football teams, different burgers. Some are tastier than others. Some edges are stronger than others. That's the reality of trading. Just because you have an edge doesn't mean it's a good strategy. Or I look at it like this: the more better your edge is, the less stress you take here, right? So we're going to be going through the break and retest strategy. Obviously, if you've been following my content again for a while, you know exactly, the break and retest is my bread and butter. I'm going to be obviously, if I even show you in the Discord community, just before we get started, you look at this, two certificates here, one with funding pips, one with FTMO. Both passed in one day. You can even obviously link will be in the video description if you are interested of joining the community. This is where I post my live trades, winning trades, losing trades, catching 1 to 10s. If I even show you actually winning trades, let me show you live trades, everything comes here. Look, 1 to 8 risk reward. So I actually show, because everyone says, oh yeah, I'm up 5,000, I'm up 10,000, 20,000. That can be fake, manipulated. And then there's always the issue with the brokers and things like that, right? I'm showing real Propfirm funding certificates. I'm showing these pips here. You can't fake these. You can't. Well, this is through magic keys, but you can't fake these pips, right? Now, if I, for example, the reason this is not on a demo account, because if I was catching all these pips on a demo account, I would just do this on a real account. So, anyways, again, there's obviously these profitable students. When you come here, it's all about transparency, and you're gonna find nothing less. Like here. It just goes on and on. I mean, you can scroll, this scroll goes back for ages, so you can come here, link will be in the video description. And if you want to just message me one-to-one. Also, what I've done is to help those who find it expensive, or the mentorship, who are from less privileged countries, mostly for third world countries due to high demand as well. Super simple. My 700k funded strategy, that made me 700k funded, just for £99. It's not a money-making system for me, just through these courses and all that. It's the cheapest, most affordable course on the internet. So yeah, just give that if you're interested, and if you're not, it's all right. That's totally fine too. But yeah, let's go start with the. I'll just continue with the video. Why? Because okay, I'm gonna first show the broker, the trade, that was able to pass the phase 1 on funding pips. Which is on Tuesday. Now obviously today is as recording of this video, today is a Saturday, so I'll just when you watch the video, it'll be from the past, and then I'll just continue it from I'll go through breaking down the break and retest. So the next one you're about to see now is the actual trade take place. This one was the real turning point where I just thought, okay, more reason to hold. But look at the size of these wick rejections. It's just a extra confluence for me to hold the trade, because look at these small wicks, huge wicks. Buyers are in more control than the sellers are in control. Now this wick here, when even this start forming, I was like, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Market this is when the market wants to start, fooling whoever's in the buyers and sellers, just start manipulating with their mind, and then that's when you start making decisions where things will go sideways. Now, I remember clearly one of my students in the elite mentorship, his name's Sukuyomi. He was on a live call to me one-to-one while I was doing this, and I even showed him like at the end the trade history and all that, because I believe the trade I was up around let me just see, just one moment. Let's bring just one moment, let's bring this in. So let's make this bigger. Okay, this was phase one. Just need this to go wider. Actually, I don't know why it's like this. Let me just refresh this. Okay, perfect. Right, so this is with funding pips dashboard. Let it just load. Don't know what it's doing. Okay, so obviously phase one passed here. You can see now there's an error in this, which I don't know why. Right, this whole win ratio is wrong because it's much higher. Everything is wrong. I have no idea why, because if I show you something, now this thing passed, but I passed this in 1 day, but that's not my profit target. I mean, sorry, 1 minute, let me show you something. Here, right, I didn't pass this in 2 trades. I passed it around, it was way more than 2 trades. Another thing, you don't need $285 to pass the phase one. You need to wait, obviously you need the 8%. So there's some kind of thing. If I'm still loading, I need to refresh this again. But I mean, obviously you can see the certificate. If I click on this, you can't fake this or anything like that. You know, you can even put the barcode in if if anyone wants to go that far as well. It's this one that's passed on the 21st. The FTMO one was passed. Let me see if we can bring that one up as well. Let's bring the FTMO one now as well. Load this up. The FT, by the way, that's not a good equity curve. It shouldn't be like that. You know, this was obviously, I mentioned when I first posted the video. See, this is okay. This is totally fine. This was passed on the 20th. Apologies, on the 17th. I got my certificate on the 20th, right? 4 minimum trading days. So the FTMO certificate was that I've even passed in the disc. Ooh, well, that's still running. But the whole idea is, anyway, okay, so I just want to go through this so I don't want any confusion. I'm just playing this video back. If you can see that record, obviously, look, you can see here, I'm just playing it. This is a recording, so you'll know that as well. Today is Saturday, right? This isn't live as well. Markets are closed, obviously. But let me just see. I want to go back to bring up Thingy up again. You know what? Let's just let this hit TP, and then we'll just go back to the video. Okay, just forward this. Ooh, this is when I first remember this clearly, and I was like, okay, is this gonna do a U-turn from here? But it was perfectly fine from here, because what happens, it just flies through, rockets through. There you go, perfect. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Okay, so I want to quickly go through as well the amount of trades I took for the day. Right now, some of these positions I'm not happy with, simply because I was taking trades, ending them early. Now this, obviously, you can see some positions, my average risk reward is a 1 to 5. Some of these 0.5%, less than, but overall it was a pretty good, pretty simple. Obviously my win rate was super low again, because obviously this thing, my average risk reward was almost a 1 to 7. But my win rate is that low because some positions I was just entering and then exiting because I wasn't happy with them. Anything else that we need to touch on? Okay, with funding pips, this is showing on the 21st. I actually passed it on the 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, minimum trading days with funding pips is 3 days. So once I've done the 3 days, 0.01 lots, got that. Let's move this out of the way. Now I want to go over something, guys and ladies who I was watching. I want to make this smaller first, just move it out of the way so you can see this better. Okay, why my edge, why I believe is to be so strong, is because I'm going to be showing obviously how you draw these zones and all that, but you can get the full details for super. I obviously, the break and retest I'm about to show you here is not the one I personally trade or I show to my students in the one-to-one mentorship. But I'm going to show you, pretty much how to draw these zones, right? And that is my biggest edge, I would say, my biggest strength. I picked it up quite early, but that doesn't mean, there's some talent involved. No, there's a lot of hard work involved. And just like in anything, in the beginning, you got to put the work in. Later on, it just becomes second nature. Now, if I even show you here, right, I'm going to show you what I mean. UJ has become, this is one of my students. I recommended me UJ. They become right now I absolutely love it, right? UJ and Nasdaq, my breadwinners. DAX 40, the spreads are tight, but compared to these two, they're not. right? But they are tighter than others, like what I'm normally been trading for the many past few years, GJ, gold, you know. But overall right now for me, DAX 40, UJ, and Nasdaq, absolutely in love with these pairs. Now I want to be going over something, right? Now, how to draw these zones. First of all, let's get these zones out of the way. The average way of, you know, the basic level of drawing zones. You can use line charts. You want to mark up the major rejections. You can do that. But then, obviously, if we go back to the candles, candles are going to work the best, right? You can use the bigger time frames. Now, people don't understand something, right? Now, obviously, there are scalpers, intraday traders, and day traders. People don't understand one thing. Time frames, the ones that you use, the types of time frames that you use is going to have a huge impact on your chances of success in trading. If I use the 30-second time frame, for example, right, I have used it in the past, it was worked okay. Then I realized I did happen to make it profitable, because what I did basically was use the same strategy, everything same, just switched up the time frames. But what I realized was it had a huge impact on my psychology. I had to be much quicker with my entries, faster with spotting the zones and all that. No, if I go to some certain time frames now, if some of my students are watching, I actually use, let me just bring in these time frames. I like to, normally when I make these videos, I get rid of some of the time frames so you just don't get confused. But normally I like to use big time frames as well, just to get as much, you know, information as I possibly can. Look at the different time frames, how to draw these zones, how to, you know, the ways of entries and all that. But again, it's all about keeping things simple. Now, if I look at this trade here, for example, right, I can see, let me just put another one. I'm going to break some of these down for you. You know, let's start with this one. Right? So once I go down to a small time frame, this is how simple the break and retest is. And if you're not trading it, look at this entries. Once you've got your zones out of the way, once you've got, you know, obviously your confluences. Now I have a list of confluences that I live by. You know, that's a huge reason for having these huge win rates. Even though I know on the dashboard of the Propfirms, you know, I look at it as, obviously, because being a small little 10k account, I don't take the accounts that much serious as well. I'm only doing it for video purposes for you guys, just to show that you can pass these small accounts, start small and then work your way up. But from here, obviously on the bigger accounts, I, you know, trade it a lot more with, try to be as perfect as possible, especially with my entries. Okay, so let me just make this okay. So basically, the way you obviously, let's break this down one by one. So now, okay, we've got this breakout here, we've got this breakout here. Now you tell me, right, what is the difference in breakout, right? What's the difference? The difference is, look at the volume in this breakout candle here. Let me just zoom in more. Look at the breakout quality, right? You want to look at these kind of things as well. Look at the volume in that bullish candle, whether you want to call it engulfing. Normally, if the previous candle is bearish, then it's a better example of engulfing. But that, look at the volume, look at the size of this bullish candle. Let me change the color of this. Right, look at the size of this bullish candle compared to the other ones. Right, this is and obviously the double bottom pattern here as well. All the signals there that this, you know, is of. Now, normally I've seen something else as well. Traders normally like to go for a usual typical 1 to 2 and make this probably, I don't know, much way bigger. I've even seen some traders, they'll make this, they'll have that like a 1 to 2, and they'll have their stop loss like super big. Let's put it around here. Now, ideally, it works, right? But I mean, I'm not just a fan of this simply because of, you know, if I'm minimum, I would like to have it like maybe 1 to 3, 1 to 3.5. But I like to go for a 1 to 5. Now, does that mean I lose more? Technically, yes, I do. Maybe 3 to 4 trades. But my win rate is usually around 70%. Now, you can do the maths for that. If I have 10 trades, I'm winning about 7. Let's even call it 5 trades. So 5 times 5, 25. Take away the 5 losses, 20. I'm 20% up. I'm still very, very profitable. Now, I use a very tight stop loss. With the UJ, it's around about 4 to 5 pips. You can see how tight that is, but again, it's from my zones, the quality of my zones, knowing that where price has a high probability chance of turning around from. Now, I mean, this is where another thing I like to, this is what I'm working on. I'm going to show you something, right? Where traders normally like to think, okay, should I make a big, 1 to 2, 1 to 3? I'm now on that stage where I'm like, okay, I'm leaving way too much money on the table now. Because remember, in the beginning, I wasn't trading UJ, I was trading GJ. One of the students that recommended me UJ, You know, I looked at it maybe, well, to be honest, I became profitable quite quickly, should I say, once I started applying the break and retest to GJ. So I never really gave UJ a chance. I never gave EJ a chance. I never gave all the other pairs with JPY a chance. Just thought, you know, GJ is working for me. I want to stick to this. I'm just kind of doing what I'm doing. If it's not broken, why fix it, right? So when I came to this one, eventually just back tested that in a group call together. I quickly just back tested it. It looked promising, but the problem was it was moving too slow then. Then over time, I don't know what's happened. Maybe after New Year, more volume coming in and all that, markets started to speed up a little again. It just started, you know, a lot of volume just came in, and now, like sometimes because of my maybe due to making my stop loss smaller, I'm just leaving a lot of money on the table, right? So now I'm in two minds of this is why I was able to sometimes catch these 1-to-11s, 1-to-8s. Now, I'm not applying this strategy again. The way I've refined the break and retest, it is different. Entry method is different. The way I draw my zones is different. So okay, let's again, so this we talk about volume, right? Look at this bullish candle here and bullish candle here. Big difference in volume, big difference in breakout. Now, not only that, there's a double bottom pattern here, there's a double bottom pattern here as well. So these are quite early signs that you can just include. Now there's a double top pattern here, then obviously that's why market started to push further down. There's a double bottom pattern here, but this is no man's land. There's a double bottom pattern here, but this is much closer to the support area, which obviously gives us the better signal to take the buy. Now let's break this down even more. Let's break this down even more. So imagine we go to a smaller, much small time frame, and now I can see. Let's break this down. Okay, look at this. Now what I can see is, let me just move this out of the way, make it seem smaller actually. Look at this, a bullish engulfing here. Before that one, a bullish engulfing here. As soon as that candle prints, make your stops either super safe below the main zone. If you're gonna play a little bit safe, obviously below these wicks here, right? Because if price, because this is also your support level formed here as well, because if price breaks this support, high probability chance, not high but like more of a chance price can just continue pushing further down, which would make your trade wrong anyway, and then it'll just go, everything just go against you. Now let's break this down even more. Let's break this down even more, right? Let's see. Okay, I can see something right now as well. Look at the volume in this bullish candle. It goes small, medium, big. It just goes bigger and bigger. It's your free white soldiers, I believe they call it, your continuation pattern for buyers. Price comes down, back, pushes the comes back down, but these bearish candles have no value. Why? Because we're above this support here, right? Sellers that print candles above support have no value. Just the way buyers that buy bullish candles that get printed below resistance have no value in my eyes. So obviously you can even take your entry after this little bit of a retracement, after this candle prints, comes back down. Let's see what it shows on the 1 minute, and let's see if we can get a much better refining of the zone. Let's bring this down here. Let's go on the 1 minute time frame, and you can see obviously this zone would actually be a little bit bigger, obviously judging on the small time frame. But if I on the 1 minute, this is perfect. Why? We got rejections here, we got rejections here, super perfect. So now what I can see here, price is, every time price touches this zone, price just bounces back up. Bullish candle here, bullish candle here, bullish candle here. If I had to refine this even more, this is the beauty of trading indices and all that, zero commissions. Because now if I want to make my stop loss even this tight, obviously with forex pairs, when you make with currency pairs, the tighter you stop loss, the more commissions you have to pay. So now what I can do is I can use this support level. Let me just change the color of this. Let's change it to this color here. Now I've got something to work off. Rather than having the stop loss between here and this, let's just go in the middle and put it below this support, and that still gives me a little bit of more of a breathing room for this trade. But yeah, I hope you found this value. I don't want to make this video too long. I'm going to be making more of these videos, going into a lot more detail with the break and retest, simplifying this. And if you're looking for my personal break and retest that's maybe 700k funded, obviously link will be in the video description. Join the community. Join even if you've been struggling for many years. And again, I don't work with beginners, but and you want to get in touch with myself one-to-one, I made it affordable even now for the one-to-one mentorship. Link will be in the video description. Where passing these Propfirm challenges, one of my students 800k funded, 50k funded, 10k funded, 30k funded, 200k funded. It just goes, it's all about transparency. Everything's in here. You can check it out. Yeah. I hope you found value. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Take care, and I'm out.